Welcome to the Chic Assignment check-in for February 2021. Hi everyone, Jennifer here, and welcome back to the Daily Connoisseur. I'm so excited for the Chic Assignment check-in. We're going to dive into the biographies of Rachmaninoff and William H. Johnson and so much more. The Chic Assignment is brought to us by the Chic Society, which is my private membership group here on YouTube. So I hope that you will stay until the end because I will be sharing the Elegant Connoisseurs, that's the top tier, with you. And I will also be listing them in my corresponding blog posts. Right now, I'm going to be telling you about Rachmaninoff. You're going to see some names in the scrolling credits down below, and those are the Chic Connoisseurs. That's one of the upper tiers in the Chic Society. So I just want to thank the Chic Society so much for helping to support my channel. All right, let's dive right in with Chic Assignment number 1, which was to listen to Rachmaninoff's Prelude in C sharp minor, Opus 3, number 2. And I gave you that performance by Rousseau. By the way, how cool is Rousseau's channel? I've been subscribed for a while and it's amazing. He does that visual synthesizer when he's playing the piano and it's incredible. So I hope that you really enjoyed that performance. That's my favorite Rachmaninoff piece. It's not the most popular, as you will learn in the next section. So now I'm going to share 10 interesting facts that I pulled off of the internet about Rachmaninoff. Many of these come from Classic FM's article, which I will link down below. Now the first question is, how do you spell Rachmaninoff? Because some people spell it with 2 F's, some people spell it with a V, and the correct answer is that both are correct. He himself spelled it differently when he came to America, so whether you use the 2 F's or the V, you're right. All right, let's jump into the 10 interesting facts about Rachmaninoff. Number 1, he was a young musical genius, which doesn't surprise me. Sergei Rachmaninoff was born on the 1st of April in 1873 in Semyonovo, Northwest Russia. As a young man, he consistently amazed his teachers with his jaw-dropping ability as a pianist and composer. He created a storm with his first piano concerto when he was just 18. Interesting fact number 2 is that the nation's favorite classical work is Rachmaninoff's Piano Concerto number 2 of 1901. It's often described as the greatest piece ever written. Its subsequent use in the film Brief Encounter has made it a constant favorite. When Classic FM combined together the chart positions of the first 15 years of its annual Hall of Fame chart, the work came out on top overall as Britain's favorite classical work. So that's their favorite classical piece. Interesting fact number 3, Rachmaninoff married his cousin. So it was after completing his first major choral work, Vesna, which means spring, in 1902, that Rachmaninoff made the surprise announcement that he was marrying his cousin, Natalia. This caused something of a stir, as in Russia, first cousins weren't permitted to marry, but marry they did, and in May 1903, their daughter Irina was born. Interesting fact number 5, he was not just a composer. Rachmaninoff was not just a composer, but in his day he was a fine conductor and magnificent pianist. He was appointed principal conductor of the Bolshoi Theater in 1904 and was offered several major posts in the US, most notably with the Boston Symphony Orchestra. Interesting fact number 6, and some of you already told me this, he had enormous hands. The composer had possibly the largest hands in classical music, which is why some of his pieces are fiendishly difficult for less well-endowed performers. He could span 12 piano keys from the tip of his little finger to the tip of his thumb, which makes sense now because his pieces are literally impossible for me to play. Fact number 7, Rachmaninoff was a man of faith. Rachmaninoff had a very deep and personal religious faith, which he expressed beautifully in 1915 through his unaccompanied set of choral vespers. They are separated into 2 parts, the evening vespers and the morning matins, both full of exquisitely rich harmonies. It would be interesting to have a listen to those as well. Fact number 8, he was driven out by the Russian Revolution. The 1917 Russian Revolution meant the end of Russia as the composer had known it. In December 1917, he left Petrograd for Helsinki on an open sled with his wife and daughters. Now in his 40s, Rachmaninoff launched a third, more lucrative strand of his career as a concert pianist. Then Rachmaninoff saw America as the future, and from his arrival there in 1918, he found himself in great demand, so much so that composing became limited to the summer months. Fact number 9 is about his final recital. By the time of his final tour in 1943, Rachmaninoff was already seriously ill. It seems almost prophetic that his final recital on the 17th of February 1943 included Chopin's famous Funeral March. He died of melanoma a month later in Beverly Hills, 4 days before his 70th birthday. And the final fact is very interesting. Have a listen to this about his legacy. Only a decade after Rachmaninoff's death, the Grove Dictionary of Music and Musicians predicted that the enormous popular success some few of Rachmaninoff's work had in his lifetime is not likely to last. And musicians never regarded them with much favor. They could not have been more wrong. I love it. I just love it when I hear, and this is such a recurring theme in all of the artists and composers that we study, the establishment, the suits, tell the artist, or maybe after the artist has died, well, this isn't gonna last. This is just probably going to fade into obscurity, and then they become famous for their incredible genius, which the establishment failed to see. So that's a theme over and over again. I hope that encourages you in your own artistic pursuits. Oftentimes, the establishment has no idea what they're talking about. All right, I wanted to give you just one bonus fact. This is a funny anecdote, and it involves Fritz Kreisler, who is one of my favorites. He's lesser known. I can't remember if we've done him in the Chic Assignment before, but anyway, we'll cover him if we haven't. Once Rachmaninoff was giving a recital in New York with the violinist Fritz Kreisler, and Kreisler got into a muddle about where they were in the music, and panic-stricken, he whispered to Rachmaninoff, "Where are we?" And Rachmaninoff replied, "Carnegie Hall." So that gives me PTSD about performing, because as a performer, I used to do theater all the time. I was even in music, I did orchestra. And there's something so scary about being in front of a live audience and forgetting your lines or forgetting where you are. I still have nightmares about this from my theater days. And so how funny that he's panicking and asking Rachmaninoff where they are in the music, and he said, "We're in Carnegie Hall." So I hope that you enjoyed learning about Rachmaninoff a little bit more. I know I certainly did. Okay, Chic assignment number 2 was to enjoy the art of William H. Johnson. I'm going to be reading a short biography to you from biography.com, and you're going to be looking at some of his artwork while I am speaking. So here we go. William Henry Johnson was born on March 18th, 1901 in the small town of Florence, South Carolina, to parents Henry Johnson and Alice Smoot, who were both laborers. Johnson realized his dreams of becoming an artist at a young age, copying cartoons from the paper as a child. However, as the oldest of the family's 5 children, who lived in a poor, segregated town in the South, Johnson tucked away his aspirations of becoming an artist, deeming them unrealistic. But Johnson finally left South Carolina in 1918 at the age of 17 to pursue his dreams in New York City. There he enrolled at the National Academy of Design and met Charles Webster Hawthorne, a well-known artist who took Johnson under his wing. While Hawthorne recognized Johnson's talent, he knew that Johnson would have a difficult time excelling as an African-American artist in the United States, and thus raised enough money to send the young artist to Paris, France, upon his graduation in 1926. Again, another theme that we see with the artists is that they all go to Paris, all of them. It's just amazing. Okay, life in Europe. After arriving in Paris, Johnson was exposed to a greater variety of art and culture. Renting a studio on the French Riviera, Johnson met other artists who influenced his style of artwork, including German expressionist sculptor Christoph Wohl. Through Wohl, Johnson met textile artist Hulcha Craik, whom he would eventually marry. After several years in Paris, in 1930, Johnson ventured back to the United States with a newfound desire to establish himself in the art scene of his home country. While his unique form of artwork was appreciated when he returned to the United States, he was shocked by prejudice that he encountered in his hometown. There, he was arrested for painting on a local building that had become a brothel. Not long after the incident, a frustrated Johnson left South Carolina for Europe once again. In late 1930, Johnson moved to Denmark and married Craik. When the two weren't traveling to foreign areas such as North Africa, Scandinavia, Tunisia, and other parts of Europe for the artistic inspiration, they stayed in their quiet neighborhood of Kurtemine, Denmark. The peace didn't last long, however. The increasing threat of World War II and growing Nazism led the interracial couple to move to New York in 1938. Though they had moved to avoid any conflict with the Nazis, William and Hulce still faced racism and discrimination as an interracial couple living in the United States. The artistic community of Harlem, New York, which had become more enlightened and experimental following the Harlem Renaissance, embraced the couple, however. Around this time, Johnson took a job as an art teacher at the Harlem Community Art Center, also continuing to create art in his spare time. Transitioning from expressionism to a primitive style of artwork, or primitivism, Johnson's work during this time displayed brighter colors and two-dimensional objects, and often included portrayals of African American life in Harlem, the South, and the military. Some of these works, including paintings depicting Black soldiers fighting on the front lines, as well as the segregation that took place there, served as commentaries on the treatment of African Americans in the U.S. Army during World War II. While his paintings of African Americans in the United States began to gain attention after they were showcased in exhibitions during the early 1940s, the break of the new decade marked the beginning of a downward spiral for the artist. In 1941, a solo exhibition was held for Johnson at Alma Reed Galleries. The following year, a fire destroyed Johnson's studio, leaving his artwork and supplies reduced to ashes. 2 years later, in 1944, Johnson's beloved wife of 14 years, Craig, died of breast cancer. Following Craig's death, the already unhinged artist became mentally and physically unstable. Though his mind was begging to slip, Johnson still created artwork that would go on to be appreciated for years, including Fighters for Freedom series featuring paintings of famous American leaders such as George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Johnson went from one location to the next in an attempt to find comfort and stability after losing his wife, first traveling to his hometown of Florence, South Carolina, then to Harlem, and finally to Denmark in 1946. The following year, however, Johnson was hospitalized in Norway due to his growing mental illness caused by syphilis. He was transferred to the Central Islip State Hospital, a psychiatric facility in Central Islip, Long Island, New York, where he would spend the next 23 years of his life away from the attention that he'd garnered for his artwork. He died there in 1970 during his extended stay at the hospital. So William H. Johnson led a very interesting life. I love that he traveled so much and was so encouraged by the cultural cities that he lived in and the art. I love how bold his primitive paintings are. He had a tragic end to his life, and that is another theme that we often see when artists end their lives in a mental institution, and it's very sad. But I thoroughly enjoyed learning more about William H. Johnson this month, and I hope that you did too. I will leave all of the resources that I referenced for this down below. Okay, chic assignment number 3 was to develop one good habit this month. Now, I talked about habits so much this month, so I'm not going to go into it that much here. The habit that I was working on was becoming a neater cook at home, a neater home cook. And I've been doing well. I have definitely been more conscious when I'm cooking, less of a hurricane mess going on, more cleaning up after myself as I go. And that has definitely resulted in an easier time cleaning the kitchen when the meal is over. So I would love to know the one good habit that you cultivated this month in the comments down below. And chic assignment number 4 was to keep our decluttered spaces from January clutter-free. So I hope that you were able to maintain that as well. In March, I'm going to be tackling some more decluttering projects. So I hope that that will propel you on this subject and that you will gain some inspiration for your own decluttering in your own home. That's it for the Chic Assignment check-in, and now I would like to give mention to the Elegant Connoisseurs from the Chic Society. So the Chic Society is the private membership group on YouTube. It's only $1.99 a month. I do a vodcast every Friday, and once a month I go live, and we have so much fun. There are 2 upper tiers, and that's where you see the recognition in today's video. That's the bonus perk, and I really appreciate all of the tiers, and especially the upper tiers here that I'm going to be mentioning to you now. So without further ado, here are the Elegant Connoisseurs.
Amanda Dykes, author of award-winning fiction, written to light the dark and lift your heart. Amy Floor from Azalea Spa Goods, handcrafted aromatherapy body oils. Brandy Still, silhouette artist, Keeping alive the art of silhouette portraiture that dates back from 1700s France, Jenny Williams from Carrot Top Paper Shop, offering colorful literary wall art and book-themed gifts to inspire every woman to be the heroine of her life. Dressed for My Day with Kay Harms encourages women 40+ to care for and dress their bodies in a way that helps us influence our world positively and with grace. Elaine Brisebois is a certified nutritionist and women's weight loss coach. Download her Elegant Eating Handbook, Simple and Effective Strategies for Permanently Living at Your Natural Weight, to get started. Ashley Buffa from Freedom Moms. Learning to treat chores as a family team is the key to creating and maintaining a tidy, organized home, and it's attainable through the Freedom Moms Smart Kid Chore System. Inspired by Nikki YouTube channel and Etsy shop. Nikki creates beautiful aprons, stationery, and so much more. Jennifer Melville, author of Elevate Your Personal Style, Inspiration for the Everyday Woman, and Elevate the Everyday, Actions and Ideas to Enhance the Experience of Daily Life. Julie Coleman from My Confident Closet. Julie helps you build a seasonal wardrobe that fits your style and budget. Katie Rose Artist. Her collection Good Tidings is inspired by landscapes around our globe in this time of strengthening through struggle. Her original paintings can be found at katierosecollection.com. Lindy Sellers, Diary of Domesticity YouTube channel. Traditional homemaking for the modern woman. Leslie Morris from Gather and Grow. Wellness options to have in your home, creating a toxin-free home, tips for increasing energy levels, and CBD education. Nicole Brignol, founder of Lovely Bits, organic intimate care for women. Rosenda Valenzuela from Little Pink Casa YouTube channel, inspiring ladies in vintage homemaking, elegant lifestyle, feminine wardrobe, and romantic home. Mrs. Shockley from A Home for Elegance. Her website and Instagram page will inspire you to enjoy beauty every day. Sarah Morgan Wellness. Sarah is a wellness coach for women specializing in helping busy women, especially moms, find manageable ways to meet their own health and wellness needs without the guilt so they can feel more balanced and fulfilled. Learn more at sarahmorganwellness.com. S.E. Sprocker, author of Chewy Marmot. When a mysterious cloud rolls over Marmton, a young marmot unwittingly becomes the keeper of Fennel, the oddball otter who has the only key to saving their world. Available now on Amazon and free with Kindle Unlimited. Tina Hugal from Outschool. Tina teaches history through biographies for ages 8 to 16. Michelle Rohr from the Secret Owl Society, digital planners and e-courses on how to create passive income from your own planning business. Learn more at secretowlsociety.org. Alan Scottish Shortbread uses their Scottish grandmother's heirloom family recipe to bake small batches of buttery shortbread that pairs perfectly with a pot of tea. Learn more at alanscottishshortbread.com. Sturm Brothers Jewelry is a family-owned, custom-designed jewelry store specializing in making heirloom jewelry into something special for the next generation to cherish. Something to cherish. Beautiful and meaningful products that promote the celebration and gift of life based off of the watercolor designs of artist Cherish Flighter. VSEL Victoria, your Jafra beauty consultant, featuring beautiful products such as Royal Jelly skincare rituals, Royal Almond body oils and lotions, as well as sumptuous color. Special offers every month. And thank you to the following: Catherine Ray, Carly Tom from Living in Loveliness, Carolyn Haydu, Denise Shawn, Jen Carlson, Jet Raleigh Heron, Gina K. Kenry, Heather Barrera, Jenny Candelaria, Linda Eckloff, Marie Caudill, Maria Condor, and Prudently at Home. Thank you so much to the Chic Society for bringing us the Chic Assignment check-in. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me on the Daily Connoisseur. Don't forget to keep calm and remain classy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.